What's up you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today basically I'm gonna let you lot get ready with me while talking about some of my top threes. When I say my top threes, basically those are my top 3 things. The reason I thought to do this is because on Instagram quite a lot when I do the ask me a question thing, I get asked, what's your favourite? And what's your favourite? And what's your favourite? And so I thought that I would do some top 3s for the most frequently asked questions, basically. So kind of FAQs, but yeah. I've put them down in my notes and my phone is charging. So I'm gonna read my notes from my Mac, which is right here. So yeah, I'm gonna go through some top 3s while I do my makeup. Let's get into it. I've popped my mirror right here, so I am gonna look sort of down while I do this, but yeah. The first one is top 3 movies. My top 3 movies, of all time? That is hard. My top 3 movies of all time? Oh, that's mad difficult, I can't lie. I can't narrow it down to just 3 films. But I'm probably gonna say Brown Sugar, A Shawshank Redemption, and The Truman Show. Actually, what do I like more than A Shawshank Redemption? I don't know, I'm sorry, but that's a really hard question. And it's gonna be hard every time it's asked, so that's not gonna change. The next one is what are my top 3 snacks. My top 3 snacks are prawn cocktail crisps, Kinder Bueno chocolate, and probably a fruit, you know. I know that like you're not asking for my top 3 fruits, but usually it would be like grapes. Probably be grapes, that's something I snack on quite a lot. So yeah, those are my top 3 snacks. Okay, I'm gonna just do my brows right now. I'm using my Fenty Beauty concealer in the color 345. I don't use this anymore on its own anyway, because I feel like it creases. Sorry, like for me personally, I find that it creases. That might be my skin, but I really didn't want to have anything negative to say about it. So for that reason, I've just like quietly not used it. But yeah, I don't use it under my eyes anymore because it creases too much and I find that quite stressful. And I don't have the same experience with my other concealers. Don't get me wrong, they crease, but not like this. Not like this. I feel like as soon as I've put the powder on, it's already creasing and I just don't really understand that. So I just think it's more that it's not for me, but other people seem to have great experiences with Fenty Beauty concealers. So yeah, it's probably a me thing, you guys. Don't blame Rihanna, she can do no wrong. Okay, so even though I'm looking crazy, that's pretty much my brows done. I have not threaded or plucked my brows. I tend to pluck my own brows. I only really get them threaded to get the shape back if I've lost it. But I haven't had anywhere to go, so I have had no motivation whatsoever to do my eyebrows. I've taken the staying inside thing quite seriously, so I've really been indoors for the most part. Today I went out for the first time, but I kind of vlogged what I did, so that will be in a March vlog, hopefully. Cool, the next top 3, my top 3 skincare products. This is timely. My top 3 skincare products, I think I've mentioned this before in up to 2 videos now. Oh god, no. In up to 2 videos now, but my top 3 skincare products right now are the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cleanser, the Kiehl's Midnight Recovery Concentrate, and Mario Badescu Glycolic Foaming Cleanser. Live by them. Those are my top 3. Yeah, those are my top 3 skincare products. So the next is what are my top 3 childhood memories. By the way, I'm using the Pro Filter foundation in the shade 390. Again, anyway, let me just use it, sure, you guys will see, but sometimes this works great on me, other times it doesn't. The next question is, what are my top 3 childhood memories? Ooh, okay. This is kind of a long one. My first, so in order, a childhood memory that I'm really, really fond of. So, oh God, no. Oh God. Back when, you know when you put too much, you mean to do like a quarter pump, but you do a full pump? That's what I just did. So, something I remember pretty vividly. Guys, this concealer is so yellow, man. Something I remember pretty vividly is going to France as a kid with my dad and my siblings. So basically, my dad used to drive like loads, so we decided that we were going to drive to France, and we were really excited, and we were like, oh, we want to go to Disneyland and blah 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 blah. And my dad was like, yeah, I'll take you guys to Disneyland. And we genuinely just thought like, what, you're gonna actually take us to Disneyland? And he did, by the way. But basically, when we got to Paris, we were going to see one of my parents' good friends, and basically we got lost. And I just remember knowing that we were lost. And I don't know if you like guys used to take drives with your parents as kids, right? But for the most part, like, we were never privy to the fact that like we were lost. This was the first time like I knew that we genuinely didn't know where we were going. And because my dad like is very experienced in driving, particularly in the UK generally, like we'd never been lost before. Like, lost, like what does that mean? So we're in Paris and we have no idea where we are, and we're trying to find my aunt's house, and it's raining, and it was just a horrible time to not know where you're going. And we like would stop and ask people, because that's what you used to do back then. Stop and ask people where we go, like where we can go. Everybody was acting like they didn't understand English, and I say acting because it was very obvious that they just didn't want to help us. And I knew this as a kid, which is a horrible feeling. And then this one guy, a black guy that worked in a shop of some sort, we stopped and went to speak to him, and let me tell you guys, he was the nicest person to date that I think I've ever met. Like, he was so nice, and basically he gave us directions and saved our lives, and we referred to him as the angel, because he was the person that basically came and like swooped in and saved our lives. But he was the only person who was willing to help us, and we were just like, I can't believe this country. And then I feel like it was at that point that I was like, oh my God, why are people so rude in France? Like, why does nobody want to help anybody? Like, we felt like such a burden asking people where to go, but it's like we're genuinely lost and it's so obvious we're not from here. But anyway, long story short, we ended up finding my aunt's place in Comme la Vie, and it was great. We went to Disneyland, but it was raining loads that day. But I remember that was like my first experience. On the drive back, I sat at the front in the passy with my pops, and my siblings were at the back and they were sleeping. I remember this was like my first experience of like properly sitting in the passenger seat for a really long time. It's like a really long drive, and my dad said that I was his favourite passenger because I didn't fall asleep on him while in the passenger seat. Obviously now being an adult, it's so crazy to think like how tired you get when you're next to someone and they're sleeping. Like, it's just a bit nuts. So yeah, don't fall asleep when you're in a passy. It's so rude. Be a good shotgun rider and stay up and chit chat and keep the person who's driving motivated. But yeah, that's probably my top childhood memory. Other than that, watching my dad attempt to play football, hilarious. My dad used to he wasn't a coach, but he used to help out and linesman some of my brother's games, and my brother was playing for a football team, and all I can say is he tried really hard and it was sweet. But yeah, watching my dad run around, that was hilarious. And finally, probably my sister's Holy Communion party. So when it was my sister's Holy Communion, she's 3 years older than me, so her Holy Communion was, she had hers when she was in year 4 rather than in year 3. But you can imagine, like, I was in year 1, so, and my brother is a further 3 years younger. But basically, we had a party at my house. This was not a common occurrence. We were not just having parties for every occasion. This was like a big F-off party. Like, the girl them knowing it. Like, I had all my good friends there, and you lot who were in the photo album, y'all will remember. But basically, my sister had this big party, and my parents invited all their friends, and even my next door neighbor was invited, and it was like a huge deal, right? Like, it was like a huge deal. And I remember my mum gave me these China bumps, and I absolutely loved my hair. Like, she had parted it so nice in these blocks, and I was wearing this lovely dress and this like little, you know, you had them little, I don't know what to even call it now, because it wasn't a shawl, it was like a little, kind of like an almost cardigan, and you would just flip the little button there at the front, and then it would, oh God, it was so chic. If I could find one now, I would definitely wear it. But I just remember feeling really beautiful, even though it wasn't my Holy Communion. It was just a lot of fun, and I guess there was less pressure because it wasn't mine. But yeah, that party at my house as a kid, that was a really, really good childhood memory for me personally. I don't know how my sister felt about that. And I never asked her up until now, but God, poked myself in the eye. Yeah, that was a great memory. Moving along, I'm just gonna quickly do my eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna slap a base on. My next top three cocktails. If you know me, you'll know what these are. They will not be hard for you to guess. But my top 3 cocktails are mojito. Absolutely love a mojito in all the flavors. I will try a strawberry mojito, a bubblegum mojito. By the way, the bubblegum mojito from Elvet Steakhouse is one of the best cocktails I've ever had. Elvet Steakhouse generally is a really great restaurant in London. It's just a great place to eat. Very pretty. It's even quite Instagrammable, but I ain't go there for that. I went there to eat grub, so. My second favorite cocktail is a margarita when done right. I do like my fresh tasting drinks. I'm not so much like a rum punch type person. And finally, it's gonna be Sex on the Beach. I like Sex on the Beach. I like sweet drinks. I like quite sweet drinks. Moving along, we're on to my top 3 books. It depends on what type of books we're talking about, because I read a lot of subject orientated books. So like, I've read a lot of philosophy books, I've read a lot of public health books, but the ones based on like socioeconomics. My favorite like story books will be The Picture of Dorian Gray, which I think I've mentioned this before. What else did I really like? Yeah, no, I don't know about the rest of them being storybooks, but I read a play that I really like, which is Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I really like that. And also, finally, The Great Gatsby. It was always going to be The Great Gatsby. I'm so sorry, but it was always going to be The Great Gatsby. So that's my top 3 books. The next top 3, what are your top 3 clothing items? I don't know if this is like clothing items that I've purchased recently, or if it's like my top 3 of, in fact, if it's my top 3, let it be like my top 3, right? Things I can't not have in my wardrobe. Things I can't live without. 3 like clothing items I can't live without. I'm gonna say my long black flared jersey trousers from Bershka. I don't know what I would do without those. Do not know what I would do without those. My second thing that I can't live without, can't get enough of, that's a clothing item, is oh, it's definitely my t-shirt. My t-shirt from Pull and Bear, the 1881 t-shirt. It is definitely in my what's in my suitcase video. And finally, let me go for something like outerwear. Oh, my North Face fleece. I can't live without it. I think that because I'm so easily distracted, I'm already done and I haven't finished doing my makeup. So I'm just gonna finish doing my makeup and then I will come back and end the video. Okay, so I'm back. My makeup is done. I opted not to put any lashes on because I can't be asked. Plain and simple, I cannot be asked to put lashes on. And to be honest, I don't wear lashes all the time. Reason being, there was a point when I had like my lashes done like constantly and I really got used to what my face looked like with lashes, and then when I took them off I was like, who is that? Like, who is that whore? But also I won't put lashes on if I feel like the motive's not that serious, just so that when I then do something or go somewhere I look like bam with my lashes. So yeah, no lashes today, but keeping it cute, keeping it preppy. And I'm pretty happy with the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed me talking about my top 3s. Again, it was FAQs and also to help you lot continue to get to know me. But yeah, I will be doing some more stuff like this if you like this. So like it if you like it. And let me know in the comments. Continue to stay at home. Genuinely, guys, it is so serious and it is so important that we do our part with all that's happening. So continue to stay at home where you can. Find some hobbies. I do quite like, to be fair, I'm not bored. I'm not even gonna cap, I'm not bored at all, but I do have quite a lot of hobbies, like things that I do to pass time. Pick up a new skill, that's a really good one, but like a fun skill, man. If you're not working and you don't often get the time to not work, like me, because my job, I can't do my job physically from home. If you're not working, do something that's like completely opposite to what you would do if you were working. Like, jolly yourself. In this life, yeah, you know that like we have to make it fun, because otherwise you'll go crazy. Spend time with your families, do keep your uppies with Lou Roll. But yeah, most of all, look after yourselves. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.